welcome to a Pixel Paragon's Armello 1.9 special. I am Tommy Kitsune. With me tonight is...
I am Peardrop.
And we shall be discussing the new 1.9 patch, of which we know very little about. But we can hypothesise as to what's going to happen with that one. So, as with any Armello patch, they always say that there's going to be a number of unlockable things that they're going to talk about as we get up towards the patch. It's coming out on the 22nd of August, so it's not far now. Today's only the 15th.
1 week, in fact. 1 week.
1 week. And they will, as we get closer to the end, discuss... and release these features as we go along. The patch is called From Below. If you've seen it, if you go to the armello.com/updates, you can look at the patches there. There is a big rock theme, we're going to guess, with this one, since all the artwork is leading that way.
It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? And an underground theme, maybe?
Quite possibly.
From Below thing?
Yeah. I mean, the logo itself, the 1.9 itself, has a sort of stone-looking bane on it, so that's definitely leading towards the banes. The artwork itself has a rat surrounded by all the purple stuff that they tend to always have with all the rot in the game. Seems to be getting those purple streaks that you see on the king, which he also gets. Whether or not that's artwork from a card or maybe a new character, maybe? Question.
Ooh, that'd be an interesting card.
Well, regardless of what it is, we do have a character that's supposed to be coming along for the Rat Clan, because they only have, they do have 3. But somebody did mention there's supposed to be another rat at some point coming along. It would be great if we got a new rat. I think they need more anyway.
Maybe a new bad guy.
Dun dun dun.
The king has died so many times. Maybe the new king is a rat.
No, we all know that the new king is actually a rabbit who likes to build walls.
No.
But yeah, so out of those 6 features, something that didn't happen in the last patch, 1.8, they said they were going to be releasing the mobile version of the game. It never made it into the patch. They said they weren't happy with it. It was going to take a bit longer. So I'm going to say one of those unlockable icons is the release of the mobile version of the game.
Well, it'd be nice to see because, like, for example, I know you've said in the past that you enjoy playing a lot of games on your mobile. Especially games like these. It would be great because... When we're all out and about, hopefully the multiplayer feature would still be there.
I would hope.
Cross-platform, I don't know.
But it's exactly what I was going to try and butt in quickly and say. I would want cross-compatibility if possible, but they did say that the reason they started tinkering with Fury mode was because mobile users want a shorter game, and that's something they were going to push it towards. So whether or not that will be compatible with people wanting to play the normal version of Armello that's much longer, I don't know. But maybe the default mode on mobile will be faster. But yeah, I'm still saying that maybe one of those locks is going to be the mobile release.
Mobile version. Well, it'd be good to see. I must admit, I would certainly get it. Get it. Even if it costs like £2.50 or something, I would, I would be quite happy to spend that on a mobile app.
What if it was, say, £6 and didn't have the other DLC? A bit like, obviously, the one we've already got.
To be honest, at this point, I would like to see some DLC in it at least. I know the Xbox or the console versions at least are a patch behind, I believe. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, there's a reason that they're a patch behind because there's lots of checks that Sony and... Do they even have it on the Xbox?
I don't know, I'm not sure. I know it's on the PS4.
But they always
have...
on
Xbox.
They've got systems in place which basically mean that they have to review and get it approved, which means by the time we get a patch, it takes them so long to get the patch approved on the consoles. That's why they're a patch behind. Nothing to do with them just delaying them because they don't like consoles.
In that case, then I would like to see at least some of the content. Hopefully, they've implemented it well enough that they could have all the content up to 1.9. But if it was just a base game, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I'd still enjoy it. It's still Armello on the go. We haven't got at the minute, which would be really nice.
Yeah.
The only way you can play it at the minute on the go is if you've got a laptop and an internet connection, and that's not the easiest way to do it, is it?
No. So one of those things, I'm saying probably the mobile release of the game, but that leaves five other locks there, 5 other features. Admittedly, some of the features in the past have been very minor things, like just graphical updates. Which brings me on to one of the ideas I had, which is The Kings recently had a graphic update showing an increasing amount of rot where his character model changes. Do you think they'd implement that for the actual player models themselves? The more rot they get, the more twisted your character on screen becomes.
I would like to see it, and also, I mean, from the looks of that picture as well.
Yeah.
You can. Yeah, I think you're doing the video so that everyone can see the picture, can't you? So
yeah.
People will be able to see the picture that I'm on about. I quite like the idea of maybe your character getting quite like tendrils off them and almost like mutated, almost like not sort of changing the character entirely, but sort of maybe making them look a bit more rotten. Spirit walkers, they start looking very angelic, and they get like the flowers around their portrait. But again, I mean, even then, I'd still like to see that maybe go a little bit further. Maybe some sexy angelic wings. I don't know.
With some big demon-y bat wings behind you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think. Yeah, I would like to see that. That from the look of that picture. It looks like a really, really interesting expansion. I mean, we've just played a game where I went rot for the second time running
with the bear of choice. Yeah,
with the bear of choice, lovely Gore.
Yeah,
and I must admit, it's I like that they did the Spirit Walkers. It's now nice to see what they'll do in this for rot, because it is a mechanic that. It's a big thing in the game, and it would be nice to see now there'd be like a rot walker or whatever they'll decide to call it.
Yeah, I mean, we had the King's Guard getting a buff in the last one, so maybe the Banes are getting a buff in this one, something to tweak them.
Quite possibly.
Because they are a bit, I don't know, there's something about them, they don't seem quite as tough. If you're going for rot, obviously, then you don't want them being too tough, I suppose, because you start leeching the rot off them, and it's difficult to win rot victories until you hit that certain key thing. But maybe we're going to get more cards with rot, which is another one of the symbols, I reckon. One of them's going to be new rot cards, maybe, as we've been calling out for it, rot in the trickery deck as well.
Yes, that'd be nice.
Because it's completely devoid of rot, to my knowledge. Whereas obviously items, there's plenty of items available with it, including quest items which you can pick up. There's the Bane Blade and the Trident.
There is.
Maybe we'll see some more of the rotten items, although some of those are really powerful. The Trident, which in the last game you had, was filthy.
3 swords, all with poison. That's very nice. Can you imagine if you had that on Silas? That's like with his bounty as well. That'd be 6 swords, 3 with pierce and 3 with poison.
Just
incredible. No, against King's Guard, at least, anyway. Not the pierce, but that would just be nice. Even so, 6 dice off the bat. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So one of those locks though is the Silas nerf, which is coming up.
He's getting killed. He's being replaced with this rat guy on the picture.
Well, he could be a new Rat Clan character. It's possible. It could also be possibly Sargon before he lost all the fur and looked a bit like mangy.
Possibly.
He is a rat with a staff, but that's as far as it goes.
I like how they've not. The top of his staff is obviously like the flaming orb in the game, isn't it? And they've been very clever not to show that on the actual picture itself.
Yeah, so we're still speculating. Is it just a different rat, or
or is it Mercurio? Not Mercurio, sorry, Sargon.
Sargon. Yeah. It could just be the art on a new card, though. So
yes, it could well be. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with rot, because it's as I say, I personally love the mechanic. We've had a few games that we played all together where rot has been a tremendous boon. Especially when I think Seek Serious Elsewhere got 13 or 14 rot in one game.
Yeah.
Which was just insane. So it'd be nice to see what they do to expand on that.
Yeah. No, there is a lot they could do with it. I mean, as you mentioned before earlier, though, the whole patch is called From Below, and maybe they're going to do something with dungeons themselves, because at the moment they are... That big random thing. Obviously, at night time, you have a higher chance of getting Banes when you walk into a dungeon. But there's still... I don't know, there's a mechanic that seems to maybe need a bit of work, I think. We did discuss earlier, before we went on to this discussion itself.
We did, yeah.
That maybe they're going to do something with I had a vision of this quite a few months back and posted onto the Steam forums about this. But underground areas of the map, possibly. I would like to see that, but there's also some talk about maybe that could overcomplicate things for people or leave certain characters out. But you and me, we were just saying that maybe they could just have something like a shortcut from one of the dungeons to another, rather than that random teleport, an actual... You managed to do this thing, cost you maybe a heart or something, or you gain some rot, and you can go from one place to the other on the map.
Sorry, carry on.
No, I was going to say, it's just because there's a lot of characters out there, the ones who don't really use magic that much, and they suffer from like a mobility issue compared to the heavy magic users, because teleport is ridiculous. Banish is... because you can cast it on yourself, also potentially ridiculous because you can just get from A to B.
It's quite fun, yeah. I mean, like if you use it right, Banish can be just as useful as if not more so, because it might send you a little bit further, but also a little bit closer to where you want to be. Yeah,
and your quests tend to be almost the opposite side of the map to where you are. They just tend to spawn that way. I know there's probably a mechanic behind it, but. Because you complete your quest and then banish yourself over to the other side of the map where your next quest tends to be.
Sort of going off on a tangent one moment, just about the quest placement. It's always usually about 6 or 7, depending on you may get lucky and get a little bit closer. What would you be open to the idea of a placement? So like. You complete one quest, and all of a sudden the next quest is 2 hexes away. Would you? How would you feel that would? I mean, it may unbalance the game. It may make it a little bit more interesting. Because sometimes I don't know about you. You sometimes get a quest that's so far away, and you end up having a really bad couple of rounds where you never ever get to your quest.
I would probably balance that in some way, because the main problem is that. Some of the times you will deliberately kill yourself just to get closer to a quest because it puts you back in your starting zone. But there's obviously times, you say, when the quest is the other side of the map, you don't have a teleport option for yourself, and you die and get reset back to where you start. You've got to cross the entire map again. I would say maybe something that your quest location moves if you die to try and keep it a little bit fairer. It's still funny, though, to stop people getting to their quests.
As we've just said, hopefully if you got a dungeon... That would hopefully be able to move you a little bit closer as well. So, it's not one of those big things. It's just one thing. I must admit, I've sort of been sat there a couple of times in the past, and I've gone, "Oh my god, I'm never ever going to get to this quest."
Yeah, you get a bit upset, and then someone sets fire to you when you're just about to go in. And they're like, "Oh, I think you need a bit of immolation."
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh look, I had a second immolation in my hand.
We think maybe they'll do that. One of the ideas to have as well, whilst looking at it, there is not on that particular page, not the update page, but in one of the posts they've done, they mentioned the land of Armello, writhes and corruption could all be lost, and that made me think that. Remember, we had some cards that affect tiles. Maybe we're going to have ones that, rather than burning the location or improving them, maybe they make rotten tiles.
That would be really cool.
Because I know they've been pushing for more landscape altering cards in the game. Maybe they'll like turn one of the stone circles and corrupt a stone circle. Maybe
that would be amazing. Yeah, because that's a problem when you've got rot. There's no other way to gain health back other than through items or through combat. Yeah, and obviously, I suppose that's the risk that you take when you go rotten, because
the dark
at the end
side.
Of the day, it's the dark side, yeah. But I would love to see a stone circle corruption card. That would be amazing. Sort of like a rot circle instead. I think that would be a really, really good idea.
Yeah,
or as you say, if you have like an evil forest or something like that, or a haunted forest, something like that. Maybe you can turn a forest into an evil haunted forest. That would be quite interesting.
Yeah, or I don't know, it costs you so much life, it destroys a forest and it summons a bane in the places, or the life sucked out of the forest and put into summons a bane. More cards I think like that. I mean, there's 6 unlockable icons there. There's bound to be, I'd say, probably the mobile update.
Can we at least agree on one of those? Maybe dice or is that, or do they not usually put dice up on there? Is that something else that they keep separate?
Dice are not usually part of the. But they will release those as just a new dice set.
Looking back at the other updates, it's usually stuff like Spirit Walkers, board altering cards, new and improved house rules, blah 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 blah.
Graphics updates,
new king decorations. So no, that's fair enough. So it's not going to be dice. So what we've got so far, we've got the possibility of
mobile update.
Mobile updates.
I would definitely say there's there's definitely a rot theme to this one. But I'm going to say one of those is going to be an update to the Banes. I think is my guess.
New Banes.
Rot probably in some of the cards, new cards, and rot on those cards.
Yeah.
I would also hazard a guess and say some of them are going to be the tile altering cards, possibly.
Yeah.
I'd like to see. Well, I'll tell you what, those are the ones I think that are going to happen, that are more likely. And then there's things I would like to be put into the game, possibly. I've got a big list here, which is why I keep looking off camera down here.
Go on then.
Right, so
go for it.
Here's my personal want list, and I want to hear your personal want list in a bit as well. So,
okay.
I do want new cards in the game, because like any game involving cards, be it Magic the Gathering, whatever you play, more options mean a better game, because you can do more with this. Obviously, you don't want to dilute the deck by having 8 million new cards put in, but just 20 new cards could change the way the game plays and make it fresh again.
Very much so, yeah.
So new cards would be good. Rot in the trickery deck as part of that. I definitely want Rot in there, because there's some characters that while you might want to go Rot, you don't want to pick up Magic. And then your only other option is the items deck, which may also not be very useful for you. So some characters may want to go Rot, but they can't because the decks don't help them. So something in the trickery deck. I would love a new character that uses Rot as a mechanic. Like you start corrupted, that character starts corrupted, and they use Rot.
Which would be really good in addition to the badge that gives you a couple of Rot at the start as well. That would be insane.
But I don't know how they'd use it. Maybe they start out corrupted to begin with, but that potentially could just change the way the entire game's played. So maybe that is a... Well, I like a character using Rot as a concept. Maybe the way I've just decided it works is not the best. But I still like the idea of a corrupted evil character who starts out corrupted and evil. Which would probably be better. I don't know quite how that would work, though, because they could just rush the king, potentially, if they start out with Rot.
Yeah, I think rushing in this game, I mean, I know there's the achievement for it, but you've still got to get through the palace. You know, you've still got to get through the guards, potentially. You know, there's and attacking a full health king as well. You know, is it really the best idea?
But if you start out with corrupted level of Rot and you're taking the king on early, you could potentially just beat him in a Rot war. But that's what I'm thinking about, though. Maybe just something like in the Dawn, you know, when everyone has Rot, they lose health. Maybe they don't. Maybe that's their mechanic.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Or they maybe they regain health equal to their Rot. That would be interesting. Maybe they've got a low health, like they have 4, but they regain health equal to their Rot at Dawn. Something like that.
I would like to see a mechanic maybe where they get bonuses for more corrupted plots on the map. So the more they physically go around corrupting areas of the map,
the more they unhallow areas,
the more they will get. The more benefits they will get, because obviously they're doing what their character is set out to do, corrupting the land and eventually becoming the king.
That'd be interesting. One of the things I've written down here after new character which uses Rot, I wrote better. I don't know what I was going, but then better.
The game needs to be better. It's only our favourite game, but it needs to be better.
So after that, after I decided clearly to write just better, I need to try harder. I've got an undermap / shortcut / teleport. I'd like to see a function of that. An undermap would be cool, where the people above ground can't cast things on you, and you're underground and you can't cast things on them. But maybe the underground's full of banes and it's incredibly dangerous, and the chances of dying are very high. Big risk reward. I'd love to see something like that in there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then my final thing on my want list is a new alternative win condition. And I've written down open up Bane portals. So if you manage to unlock all of the Bane portals on the map, say there's 6, which is a bit like doing quests, but not. But rather than a quest which you can fail, this is one you always pass, but there's always like a something happens. But if you complete it, it's going to be hard to do, but at the same time, you don't have to fiddle with the king. So that's
well, hey.
So if it was difficult to do, it would feel very satisfying if you managed to get it off. Ha ha.
I would like to see if that was the case with the portals. Maybe I would like to see maybe the stone circles being part of that, because if you can corrupt the stone circles, maybe a corrupted stone circle becomes a vortex of some kind where a corrupted player can heal, and also the base. It's just something that makes it.
Wouldn't that screw with the spirit stones, though? Because spirit stones are spawned in stone circles. So if you corrupted them, would they stop spawning there?
Maybe, unless you're unlucky enough to corrupt it, and then the spirit stone spawns and then uncorrupts it. That would be quite interesting. I see what you mean. Yeah, I think maybe, or maybe dungeons. Maybe dungeons would be a good place to corrupt. I don't know. There's so many potential ideas that you can sort of.
What would you want out of the game? What would you like that's new?
Well, I definitely agree with the mobile version. I really would like that. It'd be nice to sit at work or something and be able to, play with you guys. And, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, those days where I'm sat on more often than not as a train driver. That would be nice to do. So at least I can we can all join in if we're out and about. I'm going to probably be rattling off a few of your ideas, but I would love to see the rot expanded. There have been a lovely, few nice cards come in that have helped rot a little bit, but we need to see a few more, I think. Yeah. Personally, I would like to see maybe a rotten character from each
house, maybe.
From each house. So like a rotten wolf, a rotten rat, blah, 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 blah. Because, all the characters that we've got at the minute are quite good, if you know what I mean. Apart from the bandits, maybe. They're sort of they're neutral rather than... They're
like Robin Hood, some of them, or they'd like to think they are. So they don't see themselves as bad.
So you've got your sort of base, sort of first 8 characters. They're all very sort
maybe, just to interject slightly, rather than a character from each clan, just have a rot clan instead.
That'd be good.
Because they're like the bandits, but they've gathered together and they're all rotten, or something like that.
Yeah. Going on from that slightly, maybe a rot skin for every character as well, or something along those lines. Maybe, I don't know. Something a little bit different. I think skins are something in this game, I must admit, I really love. There's some really nice skins, but I think personally, I would make them a little bit.
I'm reminded of, and I'll have to put it up on the screen when I do the edit later. It'll be appearing on screen now, but it reminds me of someone who did a joke skin, which is Sargon Beach Party, and it's just him, no clothes on, some rubber armbands, and a bit of suntan cream on his nose with a tiki torch or something on it. It's just like, do you want to see that in your game, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the wife is nodding her head, yes.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to see that? I think, of course, new dice, obviously. I want some really rotten, horrible dice.
We just had a load of goody two-shoes dice in the last one. So...
Well, exactly. So we need some horrible, evil, vampire-y, evil dice. So I'd like to see new dice, as always. I think that's given from any expansion, really, to be honest, especially one that certainly looks as like it's going to be as big as this, because again, flipping back through the other releases, 1.8 had 3 unlocks, 1.7 had 4.
It did have one more on 1.8, but they got rid of it because that one was the mobile
version. 1.6 was the last one. 1.5 had 5. So this is actually going back through them. Apart from 1.2 and 1.1. This is actually the big expansion they've done for a long time.
The biggest number of features, but then it could go like, so we've got 6 features in it. The first one is that we've changed the apostrophes on this one card. The second one is we corrected the spelling on one of these other cards. Right, that's 2 features.
This isn't EA we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to charge you 50 quid for a shiny new skin. So I think dice will be obviously be a thing there. I think we spoke about it earlier, and I can't remember if I mentioned it yet. But the idea of maybe an underground map or Empire or something like that would be quite an interesting.
I'd be excited to see that.
like a rotten under empire, so some really evil place to.
Maybe have it as another mode in the game, because there's people who have seen in the forums and they've said that they strictly wouldn't want to do that in a game. So if I had the option of like a bit like with Fury mode, that wasn't everyone's cup of tea. We really love it, but have it as an optional mode maybe. But I know that would have cost a lot of development time, and that's like a big thing to do. But maybe that's something I'd like to do to expand on the game.
Yeah, I think we'll see some new house rules again, maybe some more expanded house to do with the rot.
Yeah, I want rideable Banes as an option. So
rideable,
fly around. Ride of the Valkyries playing in the background, and you come in at the castle and you strafe it with Bane fire.
One of the things I mentioned earlier to you, which again would be an interesting mechanic, and I don't know how they would make it work, be being able to control Banes.
Yeah, that would be cool. Making them, if you're rotten enough, then rather than the whole, because you end up running around trying to. The only way of gaining rot if you don't get the items is to go around killing Banes, but you have to have more rot than them. It'd be nice just if you gained a certain amount of rot that the Banes actually either ignored you, or if you got a high enough rot, you could control them. Or maybe turn the Kingsguard into Banes, sacrifice
that'd
them.
That'd be interesting. That'd be.
But maybe it's making the game a little dark. But then again,
there's a lot you could do with it. Yeah. I think.
Well, the game's about regicide to start with, so I don't think it gets too. unless it's like sacrifice the children of the village kind of thing, then
the cub's blood.
I forgot about that item. Yeah, that is.
See, so it's pretty dark as it is. So no, I think there's a lot that we could potentially see from this expansion. It looks. I mean, that picture gets me excited just by looking at it. So, God knows what we could see, but I think we'll be seeing something pretty good.
That is his ratty excitement face.
Ratty excitement.
Banes.
Thrusting at rot.
Thrusting into the future.
And is that? I mean, that it certainly looks like it in the background. It could be at least. Is that the palace in the background? Do you reckon? Is that the king's palace?
Yeah, there is a castle in the background. Unless there's a second castle we've not heard about. Yeah,
well, that's another thing. You just don't know, do you? A rot map, maybe a rot. You just
or a time travel episode when it goes back before the king gets the rot.
And it as long as they don't do a random clips episode, because that's when you know a series has gone to pot.
I want a crossover. I want a crossover because this happened recently. They did some Thane skins for Tricky Towers, I think it was.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a crossover. I'd like to see some crossover characters just randomly appear in it for fun. I'd like Rick and Morty to turn up in game
as a pickle Rick,
pickle Rick, and it just goes on a rampage. Yeah,
he's got Morty wandering around. Oh my God, Rick.
That'd be great. League of Geeks doing fantastic with this game. They're really supportive. They keep doing the updates. They keep suffering all the fans with their stupid ideas, especially ours. They're doing a good job. Plus, they live in like Australia, which is like really hot and stuff. So
I know.
How can they even
weird
think
as well? Strange Australians
with their nice weather.
They do make good board games, though.
Apparently so. But yeah, they're doing good stuff. We're going to hopefully keep seeing more stuff. And I'm sure that given a few days' time, on the 22nd, all of our predictions will be blown out of the water and we'll be wrong on every single one of them.
We'll probably be really wrong. Everything we've said will be like, no, we didn't do that. We saw your video and we thought, you know what, we're going to spite them.
Last minute changes. The patch is pushed back and they wipe everything we talked about.
We're not even giving you any new dice. How's that? It'd be interesting to see anyway. Be really interesting to see.
Yeah, and I'd especially like in the 2.0 patch, I would presume, to see new characters called the Pixel Paragons or something, which are a knight team.
Something like that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I know this has been said by the devs already, but a particular personal request of mine, I would love to see an owl clan.
There's no birds.
If they could make an owl clan, that would be amazing.
All the birds in the game are the Banes. There is not a single bird character anywhere.
I know. I'd love an owl clan. I don't know why. The idea of having a wise old owl, or like a rough and ready, big, sharp, horrible talons owl, sort of warrior owl. Yeah. I just love the idea of it. I really do. But yeah, that's a personal thing rather than a. What
That would be cool.
I don't think it'll be 1.9.
No.
Somehow.
Playable Bane character. There you go. You play as a Bane.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'd do that. What's
your wildest prediction that could never happen, but you hope that'd be fun? What crazy shit?
Wow.
Sargon naked skin. I'm going for it.
Sargon naked skin. I would like to see. Did you ever play Worms Armageddon?
Yes, love Worms Armageddon.
Concrete Donkey would be good. Holy Hand Grenade as well. I love Holy.
Oh, especially with the sound effect. Yeah.
The Armageddon power, where the map slowly starts to sink. Or it's not the Armageddon power, I know, but it's the one where the map. I would like to see like a sudden death mode, maybe, where like you have an even shorter number of rounds to do something. I don't know, because the game's so I say short.
Yeah,
it's short to a degree.
Something like a sudden death mode, where I think you're right. Purple fire starts raining down on random tiles outside of the palace. Yeah. And you've got to get in the palace as soon as possible. All the perils are removed. The King's Guard have turned into Banes or something. And that's like the game's gone on for, I don't know, 50 minutes or something like that. And that starts happening. Optional mode, clearly, because there'd be people who'd be like up in arms and go spitting feathers right now, going, I don't want that. I like my Argano games to last 6 hours.
I would love to see it, though. Well, not love to see it, but I think as far as wild predictions go, I'm going to go with that one. I think like a sudden death round, be interesting to see.
Definitely. What would I like the most? I'm still going to go for the underground, literally underground map. Anyone's ever played the game Talisman, you'll know our pain for playing it because it takes forever to play. It's very much like Armello when you add everything into it. But that always had extra maps added on, which it was a board game if you haven't played it before. Yeah. And it had standard squarish board, and then they put these add-ons which you bought, and they slotted onto the side, which gave alternative access to areas and alternative win routes. So something like that, where literally there is maybe another board under the bottom of the board. I know, obviously, it's easy to visualise in the game, I suppose. But yeah, you go through a portal and you go into the underground area, and that's I just love another area under the main map. Maybe there's a secret access into the castle or something, but you have to do loads of really difficult shit to do it. But yeah, that would be cool, having a whole underground area, and then they'd have to
sneak into the king's basement.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've always had a question about in Armello: has there ever been a queen of Armello? Because does she know that her husband's going a bit funny?
She is, but they probably got divorced years ago, and she just doesn't care anymore.
So that's why he's turned to the rock now.
Maybe that's why he's gone mad. Yeah. He lost his wife. He lost his kids. She ran away. She ran away with another lion, a hotter, younger lion. He's got into. It's not really rot. What it is, it's a midlife crisis.
He's having a midlife crisis. He's talking to his advisor, and he's like, "It was your fault about the divorce. I've already got a motorbike. What else is there left to do? I know, kill the peasants.
Burnidate the countryside."
Trogdor the character. There we go. Trogdor the character.
Trogdor.
You heard it here first. 1.9. We've got special information. Trogdor is coming into this game.
Oh, that would be amazing if it was true.
Anyway, I think we've chatted enough about that.
Waffled on long enough, yes.
Yeah. Crazy theories out there. We shall definitely be playing on the 22nd.
Yes.
I'm on holiday right now, so I will be playing on the 22nd. As maybe as soon as the patch comes out, there'll be a live stream. Some of us won't be there though.
Well, hopefully, if it comes out of the, I can definitely be there.
It'll be.
But it's Pacific time, isn't it, at the minute? But it's when Pacific time.
Yeah, I mean, the last patch came out, I think it was something really quite late at night over here in the UK, so...
Yeah.
Maybe the 23rd.
Sounds a good chance. Yeah, maybe the 23rd.
Yeah, maybe the 23rd UK. We'll be probably playing it at some point. But anyway, come and watch us. It'll be great, and we'll be able to see how wrong we were about our predictions in the 1.9 patch. The future of Armello.
I hope not too wrong.
No. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be some crazy, I don't know, professional gaming league version of Armello that's announced.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Yeah. And there'll be a grand prize of £5 and a packet of peanuts.
Sounds like one of our competitions.
Well, maybe with just the peanuts. Yes, thank you for watching and letting us ramble on. I have been Atomic Kitsune.
I'm Peardrop.
And we are the Pixel Paragons. Thanks for watching, guys.
See you soon.
Bye.